IT Hero Podcast Show. Thank you for tuning in. Now we are on episode 11. We have someone who is joining all the way from Rajasthan. This show is going to be so interesting and fun because we're going to have a college grad who is not yet graduated, and she's already a DevOps engineer in a company, and she's working for a company in Bangalore,
In Noida.
in Noida, and she's working as a DevOps junior DevOps engineer. And I'm super glad to have Arushi Kataria on the show. Hi, Arushi.
Hi, Prithvi. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. And the reason why I have you here is because this is the first time I'm inviting a student as a guest in the show. And I'm really, really excited for the show. So give us a background of who you are, where you are, and what do you do?
Yeah. So basically, I am a final year undergraduate student. I am from computer science branch, and I am actually from 2021 batch, which is not yet graduated because of pandemic. So yeah, like I see my friends who are graduated, but yet, I am from a college which is affiliated from Rajasthan Technical University, and our exams are still pending. So that's why I'm working as a trainee in my company. For 6 months, I'll be at a training period where I'll learn all the DevOps technologies. And after that, I'll be assigned as a junior DevOps engineer, the role that is assigned to me for that company.
Wow, Arushi. Now, let me know what made you thought that you have to work even before you get graduated.
Yeah, actually some internships and some sort of, since my branch is CSIT, so that inspired me a lot to do something about it. So I am a fresher only, and I chosen a technology to learn and to grow according to that. But I was lucky enough to get a work which was related to my technology. So learning and growing is going together as well as working. So all the three amalgamations are with me right now.
That's really inspiring. Now, as a student, you have to maintain your academics and also you have to work for your company. Tell me, what are some of the challenges that you have?
Yeah, firstly, so since pandemic is going on, there are some pros and cons also, though cons are very much huge, but there are pros also in some cases.
Yeah.
So at this thing, since I'm in final year, so attendance is not much mandatory in college. It's like for exams and for the project submissions and things like that. So for that, I have to manage my time. But for the exams, I have to, I request to my managers, like I want a shift, I want a half day. So there's not a problem in that. They understand that we are undergraduates and we are also learning. So they just accept it. But yeah, for the day my exams are going on, it is something hectic because for 2 hours you're giving an exam and after that you are going to the training sessions as well. So, but it's also fun. I enjoy.
Definitely. So without fun, we would not be able to manage stuff like this.
Yeah.
And kudos to you because you're managing both your work and you're having a lot of fun at work as well. So good job. Now, moving on, why did you choose DevOps? You have a lot of options as a computer science graduate. What made you choose DevOps as your career path?
Okay. So basically what happened is I was very fond of cloud computing. I was having, when I was in third semester, I was having the subject cloud computing. And when I studied, I studied that there are infrastructure as a service, software as a service. I got fascinated with these things. I thought that, and as a student, I was not very much good at coding. So that was a major factor that I had, that I am not much good at coding. And in cloud computing, there is not much coding. It is just necessary on the basis of requirements that company gave you, and you just have to have a command on at least one programming language. Like I chose Python and I got a command on Python. So I just got to know about the scripts written in Python. So as per the requirements in my training, also in my company, I got trained on Python. So that's why I was lucky enough for that. So that was not much coding. And since DevOps is the thing that is actually working with development as well as operations thing for continuous integration and continuous deployment thing. So basically, you are the one who are working as an intermediate for that thing.
Yeah.
So that thing inspired me for this. Like a deployment is going on a server. We are talking about a pipeline. So when we are deploying that, I was really keen about the mechanism which is going on behind the scenes, because everybody know about the front end, but nobody talks about the back end. So that is the thing that fascinated me.
Nice. So you understood your core strength and you know your weakness, so you chose the right path. So good job. Definitely, DevOps has a huge demand, and it's already there. So yeah. Now moving on. Now you have any advices for students who are struggling to move into DevOps or cloud as a career path? What are some of the suggestions that you have for them?
Firstly, the suggestion would be understanding of the concept, and number second, motivation, because that thing actually gives you a bump to jump into a tech stack. Because cloud computing is not just a tech stack. You are having many much things. Like if someone want to be a full stack engineer, if someone want to be in the UI UX path, if you are interested in the domain, like if for example I'm talking about a website, there is not a single thing which is working on a website. There are several domains which are responsible for creating that single page.
Yeah.
So that is the thing, that you have to firstly identify like which path you want to follow. Like if you want to go to server, if you want to be a full stack engineer, firstly just identify that during your graduation, because that time you are studying. So the studying thing will give you a very much clear idea that this is my path and I just want to go forward in it. Now I want a guidance. Now I want a mentor who can guide me according to that, and after that I can work functionally according to that.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So you have to identify what you love and choose the right, and also set the motivation. And that's a good factor that you pointed out. Motivation. People who are really skilled also, if they're not motivated, they cannot move further in their career. So just not for DevOps, that simply applies for any career whatsoever we say. Great.
Yeah, because mostly what happens is people just go behind other people. Like as a student, there is a mentality like there is much scope in cloud computing. Let's just go in it.
Yeah.
So, but that is not a factor which you should follow.
Correct.
Firstly, you should just. That's why identification factor is necessity. Because if you know your interest, then you will get the willpower to work on it. Otherwise, you will be just following each other, and after that, you don't know where you want to land.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the thing which is undirectional. So direction is necessary.
Understood. Got it. Now I'm curious to talk to you about your internship that you're doing, right? So you might have had some mindset, work would be like this. You see a lot of other people, might be your seniors or your family members working. Now, when you stepped into a work environment, how did you felt in the first few days?
Yeah, when I joined my training, firstly, I was not aware about that DevOps has this much tools. I was not aware about like I have to learn this and this and this and this. But actually, very much thank you to my mentor who since they expect us that this tech stack has been known to you, so we'll just give you a brief and then we will just give you a project. After that, you just have to go to Stack Overflow or things like that. You just take the guidance and you just build the project. But that does not give you a chance to go to in a deep dive.
Yeah.
That's why I was very much thankful to my mentor. Like in first few days, I was very much scared about the tech stacks. Like DevOps, starting from when we start DevOps, we should learn Linux. And after that, I learned Git, Docker, Jenkins, Ansible, Kubernetes, Terraform, and many more. As well as AWS DEVOPS is also there, which is very much interesting part, but that comes at the end in the whole training.
Okay.
So that is why firstly you have to struggle, and after that you get a piece of cake.
Nice, nice. And you actually nicely put that how you actually learn step by step. You learn Linux, and then you learn GitHub, and then you learn Kubernetes and all that. And the end you use cloud and DevOps integration. That's AWS plus DevOps. So I was about to ask, how did you manage to learn everything? But good that you already gave a glimpse of how you started. Now, next question is, I want to double click on that point. So please tell in more detail, how did you learn each concepts? How did it actually improved day by day?
So basically, talking about DevOps, DevOps actually is not just a theory thing. You need a proper hands-on.
Yeah.
Though you're not doing coding, like it is a myth that coding only needs hands-on and you have to know all the syntax. No, even DevOps need all the syntax to know.
Yeah.
Because you are building a pipeline and you are actually the one who is going the deep dive into it.
Yeah.
Like for the Linux, you have to know all the commands. Though they are easy, there are numerous commands in Linux, but that will only be in your mind. A single user cannot learn all the Linux command just in a day, not at all. Though Linux can be completed in a week or something like that, but the commands that you are learning, that cannot be in your memory at all, because we all are humans and we cannot just be a dictionary for that.
Yeah.
So that is the thing which is actually very much clear about the hands-on thing. Because when you are commanding that thing, you know that making dictionaries, the mkdir command and things like that. So even building in a Docker container, when you know that the Docker container is built like this, you just have to write the command and all the things are automated. Even automation needs some knowledge.
Yeah.
So that is the thing. So though you are working on an automation thing, but still you need something to firstly start and then after the execution, because every execution needs planning. That is the same.
Awesome. Awesome. So plan and execute. That's your idea. Good.
Yeah.
Nice. So, I am actually into networking and storage for a long time. I've never stepped into complete DevOps job. Okay, so I am actually still learning DevOps because that's my future aspiration. So thanks for all the tips that you're giving throughout the show. Now, I actually like your confidence, Arushi. You have huge confidence because you're a student, right? You compete with people who are like 5 years, 10 years of experience, and you're not intimidated with the technology because you said DevOps is, a big ocean of tools. Like you have n number of tools, but learning step by step, having that motivation, as you said, it's the key difference, right? Good. Now, tell me more about what are your future aspirations towards your career?
Yeah, for now, like I was talking about the planning thing, but for the future thing, I think no planning is needed, because when you are working on a particular thing, that will land you somewhere. Yeah, knowing about your firstly, my key element for that is learn from your mistakes and never repeat them again. Because firstly, when you do a mistake, you know that you have to get a guidance from it, and after that, you will not repeat that again. Going to that pathway and following that in a very much serial order, that will actually land you somewhere where you actually deserve. Because even DevOps, I want to give an example also. There is my relative only one. He is actually working in TCS, but because before I was landing to a DevOps job, I actually talked to him. Like I wanted to know about the interview tips that he wanted to give to me. So that's why the thing is, he was from a different domain, but he gave a very good example about DevOps. And that is the thing. That day I decided that I want to do a DevOps job and nothing else about that. So that was example is he told me the difference between the waterfall model, that was the traditional one, and the DevOps methodology, the agile things which is going on these days. See, he gave an example like, for example, a house is getting to a construction.
Yeah.
And after that, in waterfall model, there are 4 to 5 steps. Like you are building a home. Firstly, first floor is created, second floor is created, third floor is created. The construction is complete. And like requirement gathering is done. And after that, when the thing is built, then the feedback is going on. What are the flaws in that particular thing that are identified at the end? Now, what are the chances to get that improved? The person who have developed that and the person who have operated all that, even the architect who has operated that and the builders who have created that, they doesn't have a link from it. So that is the thing, like the feedback factor as well as the maintenance, because after feedback there is a thing, maintenance, and with the maintenance you can actually work over the flaws that you have got. But in DevOps you have a broad spectrum, like the work is being divided. The developer will work and the operations team will work as well. And with that, like a first floor is created, and after that the maintenance will be done and the feedback will be done. So the flaws has been improved at the moment, And after that, no one is being pressurized at all.
Yeah.
So the time is being saved and the execution is done very much efficiently. That's why it is the continuous integration and continuous deployment that we call about DevOps. So that is the reason behind it. So I was just fascinated about that example. Like I can just use it and I can just inspire people that what DevOps actually is.
Exactly. CI/CD, comparing with a analogy of building a house. That's a very good one, actually. I think I'm going to save that for my interviews in future.
Sure.
Now, double clicking on the career path again. Fortunate enough for you that you had a relative who gave you the ideas and tips and tricks. Now, if somebody is, a graduate or somebody is preparing for DevOps engineer, how do they approach the market? How do they get a job? How did you end up in this company?
Yeah. So basically, like what I suggest is during the graduation, if you are interested in a tech stack, it is very important for you to go into a broad spectrum. Like I did myself some efforts and I landed to an internship, which was about DevOps. In my third year, I did an internship. Like they interviewed me, and after that, I was having no idea about DevOps. I just heard that term, and I was just having some idea about the cloud computing. I was not knowing the difference between what is cloud computing and what is DevOps. Though there are two different things, but I was not about that difference. So that's why I was just like a student. I was just fascinated about what this tech stack is. Let's learn it. Like everybody say that if you are learning something and after that you are implementing something, then you will just get a full outlook about it. So firstly, what I did is they interviewed me, and after that they asked me that on which domain you want to work in our company. We are giving you an internship. It was 1 month long.
Okay.
And in that you have to learn everything that you want. Because my college instructed me that you have to do a 45 days or 60 days internship.
Okay.
So I just worked according to that. I was like the wrapping things that how much I want to wrap, I'll just wrap it in 1 month.
Okay.
So that is the thing. I just landed to DevOps. I was assigned a mentor, and she gave me software requirements. Like she gave me a total requirements that you have to make a project according to this, and she gave me a requirement that you have to make a library system. In that users will have different rights and admin will have different rights. Like you can use the reference of internet and you can create a website according to that. Like a website can be taken from the internet, but deployment will be your part. And I was not aware about what deployment actually is. I had a complete focus on creating that website. Even I learned PHP for that. Because so I just worked on PHP, Bootstrap, things like that. And I created that website, and my whole time was wasted in creating that website. I was not aware about the continuous phase that I have to deploy that also. And in the late 4 to 5 days, she was very since I have a good confidence, she was very fascinated with me. Like you can do it and you are doing very much. She haven't even checked my progress. So I was also not aware about that where I went wrong. So in the last 1 week before my completion of the project, she just asked me what work you have done and just share your screen. And when I showed her, she was getting just the website. She said where it has been deployed. So that is, she gave me Udemy course, and from that I was learning everything. So I just so that is the thing. That was a mistake. But what I have learned according to that, she worked with me. I worked 24 hours in that 1 week. Like I haven't slept a moment. For 2-3 hours I just slept, and the rest time I was just working, and she just instructed me that do this. Like my mentor worked with me and I worked as well. And in that day I deployed that website on a particular port number, like on 8000 HTTP. I learned to how to deploy that website on a particular port number. So mistakes give you a very good chance to learn and to know that where you have been landed. Though my pathway was tough, but still I learned from that a lot. And that actually helped me to get this job that I got this state.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Arushi, that's a really interesting story. And I think it shaped you as a engineer already before you get into the job. So really inspiring, and I'm super happy to see where you are today and in such a young age. Really doing an amazing job. I would want you to share your inspiration even more with a lot of people. That's one of the reasons I had you on the show. So people get inspired,
Sure.
people can follow, that age is not a matter for your job, and you have to do with passion, you have to do with determination. You're going to land your dream job. So thank you again. And really, I had a great time. If you have any last words, we can wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me today. Actually, I doesn't even realize that I talked so much. Actually, I gave very big examples, and that students like me will get very much bored listening to that at the end. But talking about that, if you will follow these advices, like that was my experience. But the thing is, just have your determination in you. Like you will actually land somewhere, and if you are getting an instinct about a particular tech stack, just follow that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much once again, Arushi. We had a great talk with you today, and I hope you get all your aspirations completed with the same smile that you have. All the best.
Thank you so much.
All right. See
Thank
you
you.
around. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
IT Hero Podcast Show.